Hello, it is Creature, and today is a special day. Or should I say that this month is a special month? Well, yes, it is Spooky Month. For all the new 40k fans, I would like to introduce you to Orktober.
When is you humans gonna learn? This world is green! Squig spree! You trying to steal my titans? Steal my loot? I'll rip your guts right out your throat!
Necron fans can go yourselves, because on this channel we celebrate Orktober, and in the spirit of the Gorkin Morkin season, Shootas Blood N Teef is a right proper orky game just for such a month. It's on its face a 2D side-scroller shoot-em-up, and despite being a legit GW game, it is very much a parody of 40k with lots of memeable bits and whatnot. The game is pretty simple. It follows an orc boy with a pretty nice hair squig, which, for those of you who are not the orky type of folk, is a little creature that bites down on top of an orc's head and acts kind of like a top knot. For those of you who are just new to 40k in general, orcs in this setting are a little bit different from orcs in other settings. For one, they're a bunch of fungus boys, and they all talk like football hooligans.
I'm Boss Grimskull! This whole planet is mine! Whoa!
All their stuff is just ramshackle together DIY bullshit that literally only works because they think it does. DIY is the name of the game for these boys, and they are honestly the only people having fun in Warhammer, because to them, a good time is only just a little bit of crumpet. In 40k, the orcs are just a bunch of goofy dipshits that wander around the galaxy like a cockney band of murder hobos. They show up, destroy everything, loot everything, and then bounce. The gameplay is pretty simple. You just shoot everything and run through the game. You can pick from one of 4 classes, that being
Flash Kids,
which is just a rich orc, Weird Boys, which are orc psychers, Beast Snaggas, which are just like orc beastmasters, and then Storm Boys, which is just an orc with a rocket strapped on his back, because why not? You can unlock weapons and get upgrades as well as cosmetics by collecting teeth during missions. The game is 4-player co-op, so you can probably get some buddies together to actually play it. The weapons are fun to use and the gameplay feels about right. The controls are good, barrels explode, medical squigs heal you. It's all pretty basic video game shit. The music and sound of the game is also pretty good, beyond the song that I use anytime I'm talking about the boys. There's dynamic music, with each area having a track for battle and for not battle. I remember one section in the Upper Hive where a more imperial theme with like trumpets and strings and kind of, you know what I'm talking about whenever I say imperial, instruments were kind of overlaid of the actual track that would then turn back into the, more orky rock and roll track whenever you got into combat. However, the timer for the track switch feels really short, as if you take more than 5 seconds without some good old crumpin', the track fades out and then fades back in as soon as a ratling tries to 360 no-scope you, which, to be completely fair, is in line with how orcs operate, considering most of them can't really stand going more than 5 seconds without beating the shit out of something. The art is very stylized, and for a short game about some random orc boy with a power level that's seemingly higher than Ghazghkull Thraka's, yeah, I'd say this fits. And for anybody who has an issue about me saying some random orc boy could probably BTFO Ghazghkull, a little bit of spoilers, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This orc destroyed a Baneblade, Imperial Knight, and a fucking Gargant in less than a day, so I don't think Ghazghkull has done that. The game doesn't take itself seriously at all, and you can tell that the devs had a lot of fun leaning into some of the more meme hammer side of things. For instance, let me present to you the Omnissiah's Holy Commodious. I'd argue this game does a lot to show off the more pedestrian parts of a hive city, as you spend the game ascending a hive city from the Underhive to the Upper Spires. It's a cool kind of seeing the transition from the squalor of the Underhive to the opulence and nicety of the Upper Spire, and running through the Hab sectors and seeing how a relatively normal Imperials live is also kind of cool. And it's kind of funny with a lot of the visual storytelling with the game. For instance, in one Hab building, there's an entire spy ring in operation focusing on the very blatant Gene Stealer cult that is just right next door. And funnily enough, this game was also the first piece of Warhammer media to show that Commissar Yerrick was dead. There's a lot of hints to it, even going going so far as a memorial statue at the foyer of the Administratum building. And if there was ever a place to reveal Commissar Yarick's death, it is definitely in an Ork game.
Like for like. Which part are you willing to give me?
The cutscenes look nice, and I don't really have any complaints. Voice acting is good, cutscenes are fine. If you're curious about what that looks and sounds like, here you go.
Vile Xenos! How dare you profane the sacred territory of the Imperium of Man!
Oh, never mind that, you Yumi. I's got a deal for ya. Give us your dagger, and I won't rip your head off.
Ha! This glorious war machine belongs to the Emperor, as does Luteus.
That's why you're wrong, Yumi. This planet is green.
I will purge your filth from the Emperor's world! For the Imperium!
Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my sword.
And I guess now's as good a time as any to talk about the story of this game, so here's your obligatory spoiler warning. I don't know what you're expecting me to talk about that's gonna be very ground-shaking. It's a story about a random-ass orc beating the shit out of things, but hey, here's a warning. I'll be genuinely surprised if anybody actually skips ahead. The story actually starts a little bit before the game, in a comic. The orcs are fighting on a planet, specifically Luteus, and their truck explodes, and our main boy almost gets executed by a commissar until a random hair squig kills the commissar and then attaches itself to our boy's head. The war boss finds our hero, and jealous of the hair squig, makes him one of his guards. And from here we get pushed out of a plane and start killing everything as we land inside of a Goth settlement. And after a really cool concert battle where we beat the shit out of their big boss, we gain an entire warband. So we take the warband because we is the strongest and attack the Hive City to get to their shuttles so that we can get back to Gutwreka and get our fucking hair squig back. After we get past the walls, we are then faced with a... After destroying that with way too much ease, we get into the Underhive, where we are then attacked by Skaven and then a Gene Stealer cult. We then immediately kill everything between us and wherever the fuck we're going, and then kill the cult's Biophagius, and then face off with the Patriarch. Now, I would like to remind you that we are a random orc boy. It took 3 highly skilled Blood Angels, a captain, sergeant, and a Death Watch veteran, with one succumbing to the Black Rage, just to take one of them down. So naturally, we immediately beat the shit out of it with little to no effort, and the cult goes crazy, and I believe we may have started a Gene Stealer uprising. We then just kinda fight our way through the Hive City after going through the lower sectors to mid to high sectors, and the higher up you get, the more and more elite of the Imperium come to stop you. Guardsmen turn into Tempestus Scions and Ogren, and lieutenants turn into captains and commissars, all of them becoming more and more common the closer you get to the Administratum building. Eventually, you end up fighting Space Marines who become more common enemies. And hey, it's the White Scars. It's cool to see you guys around for once, I guess. Anyway, we kill a Strider, which is kind of a downgrade from beefing with a fucking Baneblade and a Patriarch, but whatever, and then a White Scars Chaplain. I feel like we may have blown our load with the Baneblade as the first boss is a little too early, but whatever. Anyway, after disrespecting the White Scars Chaplain, we then proceed to piss off all the White Scars by destroying their ships. As we're about to get to our new ship,
Attention, Ork! You face Lord Horik Canorum, son of High King Valeric Canorum, High Prince of House Canorum, Master of the Blade of Gaia, Keeper of the Gates of Loralo, Wielder of the Caloric Flame, Bringer of Hope, Herald of the Holy Order of the Adamantine Lance, the Paladin of Koto, Slayer of the Lion of Essa, the Triumphant, the Light of Stars, the Eradicator.
After scrapping to Tin Boy, we steal their Thunderhawk, get to the boss's ship, and fight through and end up on the command deck, where Gutwreka is nowhere to be found. So we just crash the ship and face down with Gutwreka, who's in a Gargant. After beating him, you get your hair squig back, you take control of the warband, and the game ends. As much as I liked this game, I do have a few complaints. For instance, the AI in this game is not great. They tend to bug out pretty badly at times, and increasing the difficulty only makes the enemies bullet sponges instead of making them, a little bit harder to fight or adding more of them, which is something that really annoys me in games whenever they do it. Also, the game in just one playthrough crashed to desktop 4 different times, so it's prone to crashing, to say the least, and it will probably crash a handful of times during your playthrough. And it only ever really happens whenever you're going from cutscenes to boss fights, so it doesn't happen too common. Another thing is that this game absolutely fucking loves its loading screens, and I'm just gonna chalk that up to them using Unity, and to be completely honest, it really kinda starts to drag at the end, but it doesn't hang around too long for it to become really all that boring. Shootas Blood N Teef is a really fun game that has some glaring issues. For one, it's a 4 to 6 hour game with a $20 price tag on Steam. While I have seen it go on sale on GOG for about $12 at times, in my opinion, the price tag really does not fit this game. I'd say buy it whenever it's like half off. $10 is a good price, but $20 is just way too much for this. And I know that most of that probably comes from that fine little GW stamp that probably cost one of the devs their firstborn, but wait to buy it on sale. It's a fun little game that you can kill in an afternoon. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's closer to a 7 than a 5, and I'm pretty sure that's predominantly because it's a Warhammer thing. It's kind of buggy, feels very simplistic, and crashes a lot, but there was definitely a lot of love and passion put into this game. I know it's a smaller team and that it's meant to be more of an Arcady game. I don't have any other way to say this. It just feels extremely basic and extremely fast. It knows what it is and it plays to its strengths. It doesn't try to hang around for much longer than it actually should. That's really all I can say about it. I know that this video is a bit of a shorter one, but I wanted to start off Orktober with a what? I'm currently working on some bigger projects for Halloween, and due to the nature of the source material, it's gonna take some time. But I do plan on making some memey things between now and then, so look out for that. I also wanted to thank everybody who subbed. As I'm writing this script, we hit 1,000 subs. Let's fucking go! I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest and just kind of start gushing. No script for this part, so bear with me for a sec. I genuinely didn't expect to get to 500 subs, let alone 1,000. To everybody who has been watching me and supporting me and leaving all those nice little comments, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope I can keep kind of putting out the stuff that y'all like. I'm really glad to see that there's so many people that also just enjoy seeing the shit that I make. So again, thank you all so much. Let's shoot for 2, I guess. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Oh, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Oh, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Oh, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Oh, drink water, drink water, drink.